So it's pretty late, pretty dark, but it's the campfire, cook your dinner, soon to be hopeful YouTube and all kinds of silly stuff that I do in my free time. A lot of outdoorsy stuff. This is, I had a Facebook post a while back about I wanted to use an 18 volt or a 20 volt like drill battery to power my fish finder in the kayak. And I went as far as to buy, like, that is actually a digital buck converter. Like, I have two of them here that I can buck down like 18 volts to 12 volts or 11.5 volts, or I can tell any battery how many volts it's going to feed out with those. So that was my first idea. I didn't spend much on those. They were like $8, maybe $10 for two of them. So but what I decided to go with was a little bit bigger, just because it's tried and true. So many other people were doing them. I figured, why? Like, for the first one, I'm gonna try this just to see how plausible it is, how long it lives. I'll get into that in a second, but essentially what it is it's an ABS plastic case with a $7.50 sticker kit all over it, just to kind of personalize it. But inside of this ABS waterproof case, there is a 9 amp hour 12 volt like battery, just a regular 12 volt small. I mean, you can see it's not very big. It weighs maybe 4 pounds. It's not horrible, but inside is the battery, and then I wired the voltage meter, the USB, and this 12 volt like cigarette lighter whatever to the switch. So like, but I have a main 2-prong plug that is a battery tender charger in with a charge controller inside the box, and also a full-time power out. So even without this switch on, like right now I'm charging my phone and my speaker, and I can see how many volts I got, and then I can just kill it if I want to and run. Like right now my fish finder on the kayak is wired with a 2-prong switch, or a 2-prong plug, just like this one. So I can just plug right into it and run. So I made it with everything else just because it's nice to have. Like, we take it in the Jeep and stuff for our little boys, like Kindle Fire and stuff like that, to charge. And like, I've been doing stuff outside, so I've been charging my phone and whatnot. So it turned out pretty all right. I'm probably gonna make another one, probably a bigger one. I don't know why I want to go bigger though, because this is 11.5 volts. This 9 amp hour 12 volt battery, when fully charged, is 13.1 volts. With my Garmin Striker 4 in my kayak, I could probably run at least 40 hours off of this, and that's just a guess. It's pretty much 1/10 of a volt every 4 to 6 hours, depending on what all I'm using with the sonar unit, but 1/10 of a volt every 4 to 6 hours. So I mean, realistically it could be even higher than that. I'm just looking at like low current draw, and I don't know at what voltage the fish finder shuts off. I think it's 11.2. I think it takes from 11.3 or 4 clear up to like 18 volts. That's why I wanted to start with the buck converters and like just a Ryobi drill 18 volt battery, but I wasn't sure what type of life I would get out of them because I just wasn't sure. But now that I've done this, I know like it's a crazy amount of power. Like, I've charged my phone off this thing 3 times from 30% to 90% plus. This little Bluetooth speaker that just came unplugged, I've charged it 3 times off of it, and this is all from 13.1, and I have probably 8 or 10 hours in the kayak running my Garmin Striker 4. So like, it's a pretty ruthless amount of power in a really small, compact size. I mean, it's not that big at all. So that's my battery box. It worked out pretty well. It's pretty simple, straightforward DIY wiring, just to wire it, you know, the switch to those 3, and then a constant power. Like, it's relatively easy, straightforward. I'm gonna use these in the future. I just don't know what for yet. I may do an 18-volt battery because I still have a crapped out Ryobi charger that I want to use to like set the battery down into, and then wire one of these off of that to a switch like this, or I'm sorry, a connector like this, and then see how much life I can get out of like a Ryobi 18-volt battery out of that Garmin. But it sips power, so I don't want to make this too long. That's what I've been up to. That's my power box. I'm doing some other stuff. I got a navigation light that I'm about to do that I'm gonna split off of here and have a switch with two different like things. We'll see that in the near future too. But just a bunch of fun stuff to get out on the water and catch some fish and have some fun. I'm gonna be visiting the Loyal Hanna Reservoir probably very soon once this heat breaks. And with my night light, I'm gonna be able to go out there at night. Even though it's a new body of water, I think I can go out there and get on a night bite of crappie or catfish or something. So that's near future. So campfire, cook all your stuff and whatnot, and have a good time and make stuff and enjoy.